Hey everybody, this is CJ Bright. I just wanted to have a quick conversation with everyone for my CTA. We're going to tell this quick story. So once I finish the story, I will try to explain more into the how and whys and what I should have done better. So when I was in ninth grade, a friend of mine and I were talking with my little brother, and the question came up as he was trying to get to know my little brother better. The typical questions of how old are you? What do you want to do when you grow up? And my brother said that he wants to be a marine biologist. I interjected saying that he wants to be an underwater dude. My friend looked at me like I had insulted him, which unbeknownst to me at the time I had. And he said, "What makes you think that I don't know what a marine biologist is? I want to be a mortician. Do you know what a mortician is?" I didn't. And he was like, "Not everybody is so dumb that they can't know what certain things is, and you need to understand that, you're not the only one that's smart." That hit me pretty hard that day. And it took me down a peg. I didn't understand how it is that all I was trying to do was explain to him that in my mind, when I said he wants to be an underwater dude, in my head was this idea that we had conversations lots of times, me and my brother, about how he wants to literally live underwater and study animals. And sort of like the old Sea Lab cartoons. I don't know if anybody is familiar with that. I'm probably dating myself, but that was the picture I had in my head, and that was the picture the image that he had given me. The way I had came off was that my friend, who was black, was not educated enough to understand what a marine biologist is and what they did. And that was, for a little bit, there was a little bit of a self-serving bias. I did feel like, why didn't he understand what I was trying to say? Why didn't he understand that I'm not talking about that? I'm not thinking that he's dumb. I'm just thinking that he needs a little bit more imagery on how he wants to be a marine biologist. But I learned at that time that, I was kind of perpetuating a stereotype that I didn't know I was doing, that black people are uneducated, that I am not this special snowflake black person that happened to know more things than others, because I felt like, in my attempts of trying to fit in, a lot of hip-hop culture at the time, with the way that rap music was portrayed, to me, it felt like I had to dumb myself down if I wanted to try to fit in. It wasn't the right answer, and all I can say is I was a kid. I grew out of it. I got better, and I got to see my people in a better viewpoint, and understand a lot of the stuff that I didn't. So what could I have done better? I should have really expounded on my idea. Instead of just saying he's an underwater dude, I should have said he wants to be a marine biologist. But one of the conversations we had was he wants to literally live underwater as he's studying the animals. And that should have been what I said, and that probably would have given me a better outlook, if not a worse one, because now I'm still interjecting myself in a conversation that technically I wasn't really completely in. But again, hindsight is in HD. What can you do except learn from it? I was really aware of what my attributes were. I knew that I was a smart person. Everyone kept telling me how smart I was, how I was always in the gifted programs and this, that, and the other. And I felt like that was a special thing, because most of the other people of color in my elementary schools would get mad at me because of how I talked, or how I was always answering questions and stuff like that. So I felt like I knew more. And those kind of things did influence my perception on certain things. And it, in the end, it really just turned into a big fundamental attribution error, because what I thought I saw and what I thought other people's attributes weren't actually the case. I was puffing myself up when I really didn't know anything. And I shut my friend down, not even thinking about the brilliance that he has. And to this day, me and him are friends now, but this man has gone on to do great things, and he's lived a more successful life than probably I could say I had. I don't know, it's comparing ourselves is neither here nor there, and it's not something that I'm qualified to do. But because I did try to do comparisons with other people when I was a kid, that's part of what gave me that sense, that those self-serving biases, that I am smarter than others, that especially people of color, because that's what I was told, that's what I was saw, that was the feedback that was given to me by other people. And that was wrong. That was definitely wrong, and it shouldn't have been that way. So I did learn. Our friendship stayed on, as I said, and I've learned to be more open-minded. I learned to listen. I learned to not jump in every time I feel like I have something I have to say, and give people the assumption that until they ask the question, that they understand. They may understand it better than I do. So I come with a lot more humility now, or at least I try to. And this had become one of the biggest things to shape me, at least in my teenage years. I've been humbled by the experience, and I continue to strive to be better, because at the end of the day, you only know what you know. You don't know what anyone else knows, and to assume that you know what someone else knows is only a recipe. It's a recipe for disaster. That's all there is to it. If you enjoyed this, I'm glad. Thank you for listening all the way through, and I hope that this will be a good learning tool for others, so that they don't make the same mistakes I did, maybe. If not, well, I'm sorry I wasted 8 minutes of your life. Have a good one.